I was unsure of my future. Turned 40 and I just felt that, well, what was available.
I couldn't really actually comprehend what we were being told. It was just total shock.
You think, how am I going to get on? How am I going to survive? How am I going to get over this?
I had the option to go either to move to Manchester or to accept a redundancy. It was very scary.
And you were just in shock. What can I do? What can I do?
I was working for a company, there was a downturn in the industry. As a result of that, I became redundant. I was unsure of my future. I had a mortgage to pay. That's when I approached PACE to see what options I had available for me.
When I first met Ian, it was really interesting to see where he was at in terms of his thinking, because although he was a confident individual, he was perhaps a wee bit more unsure about what he had to offer. So one of the really important things about PACE is that we really look to the needs of the individual, and that's where we start from, and we take time to understand where they're coming from and ultimately where they want to be, and it's really our job to help make the connection between that place where they've been and their future chosen opportunity.
I look forward to my interviews. Yeah, once my CV was updated and it read very well. I did have a lot of interest from just my CV. After that, it was great. I kept in touch with Heather. She kept in touch every few weeks just to see how I was getting on. From the guidance I got with PACE, I started off using my rope access skills that I had. I was a steeplejack for a few months, and through that I joined a rope access firm. Now I'm in a full-time job and happy.
Because I've always worked, I've always sort of been financially independent and tried to be financially independent and have my own sort of wages and income coming in. We were told that they were relocating the positions to Manchester, and we had the option to move to Manchester and take up the position there. Didn't want to relocate with having a young family and decided to stay in Stornoway and take the redundancy pay. I didn't really know what I was going to do career-wise with myself. My idea was to make bath bombs and to make them from Stornoway. The idea is to try and source as much of the ingredients from the islands themselves.
Jill came in, she was obviously sort of worried and sort of a bit down. We try and sort of spin it round a little bit and think, okay, you've got an idea now, so let's see how you can get this idea out there. Well, we hope that once they've been in to see Business Gateway, that they've got a better idea now and they think, actually now I can do this, we need to do X, Y and Z, but at least I know how to take this forward now.
I hope Hev Fizzies will roll out nationally. I do have some customers who order on the mainland from Glasgow, and also a couple in England as well at the moment, so I'm hoping it gets more and bigger and better.
In November 2018, I was working at the new school in Butterston, and we, as a staff group, were told that we were going to be made redundant. I couldn't really actually comprehend what we were being told. There was a lot of discussion about what our rights were. Because I'd only been working at the school for a very short amount of time, I knew that I wouldn't be entitled to any redundancy payout from the school. And I needed somebody just to give me some solid advice to help me to see where I could pick myself up and move on to.
Very many people come to us with uncertainty, with questions, with varying needs of support. We're listeners. We understand that there's no one size fits all. So all our PACE careers advisors have a lot of experience working with people and supporting them at all different stages of their career journey.
I hadn't appreciated that there was so much help out there. It helped me to fine-tune that what I want from a job is something that is going to make a difference to other people. It's not just about having a job for the sake of it. The graduate apprentice for early learning and childcare came up, and I just thought, wow, this sounds ideal. This gave me an opportunity not only to have a job that gave me a sense of purpose, but also to study to get a degree, now that I'm doing it, I'm absolutely loving it. And I can see that despite the fact that there has been an awful lot of upset and upheaval, that ultimately things happen for a reason.
I had a phone call from HR. Basically, they were shutting our factory down and it would close on the 21st of December. And you were just in shock because you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I'd worked there for 23 years. It was a long time. And all of a sudden, it's not there. With PACE, I got the confidence to look for a job that I was able to fit into my life. A job that you could give to people, a feel-good job. So out of the ashes comes a phoenix. I made my way to the college and said I was planning on doing nursing. A few weeks later there was a jobs fair, a lot of care companies, and I thought that could work around my lifestyle.
After having met me and having looked at her CV, having looked at her skill set, having looked at the potential options, nursing, clinical support work, she was helped to kind of decide social care, that could be for me. And the jobs fair kind of sealed it because there were employers there that were really kind of pleased, willing and thankful that there were people like Audrey there to speak to.
I can't see me doing anything else now, I really can't. I know I've made the right choice and I think it's my true calling.
Thomas Cook obviously had been in the news quite a lot. You know, we had quite a rocky few years. I was devastated. It had been a huge part of my life. They were advising us of the steps, things like what would happen next in respect of government redundancy and our entitlements. They also pointed us in the direction of the local job centre as well. During one of my first couple of visits with Brian actually had looked at, you know, my skill set, he'd looked at my CV, we'd spent a lot of time exploring, you know, my experience. And he'd actually suggested to me that as well as, you know, my other job searches that I was going to be doing within retail and looking at retail management opportunities, Brian also suggested local government, he suggested the Scottish Government, and he also suggested the civil service. And I'd actually, to be honest with you, I'd never thought that these would be opportunities that my skills would be transferable.
Someone who's been made redundant will have huge reservations about crossing our door. It's only natural that they don't want to be seen as unemployed. They don't want to be looking for state help. That's the myth around the job centre. What we focus on is getting you back into work.
I'm about to start with the Department of Work and Pensions as an executive officer in the civil service, and I'm over the moon. If I had not went through this experience, I would not have been afforded the opportunity to apply for the civil service.